everybody. So we just had a pay-per-view, and for the first time in like a year and a half, it felt like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, buddy. Felt like Angelo Dawkins there for a second. Yeah. That's how it felt. It was fantastic. It was good. Packed house. It was good to see the WWE Universe back in action.
Yeah.
And acting a fool. It was fantastic.
Yeah, because WrestleMania did have a live crowd, but it just felt like a huge empty stadium with a bunch of people packed like around the floor, and it didn't really feel. It felt like Daly's place before they let more people in, really.
Yeah, that's very true. It did have a similar feel. They did their best to make it sound as loud as they could, but it's obviously better with a packed house.
Yeah, because you could. At this point, we know the difference between fake crowd noise and real crowd noise. We
know the difference between 10,000 people and 40,000 people. Like, it's a huge difference.
40,000 people indoors.
Yeah, we know what that sounds like.
Yeah. So let's run through this really quick.
It's good.
We'll start at the beginning. Tag team match between the Usos and the Mysterios. I enjoyed this one very much. I thought it set the tone for the pay-per-view very nicely. Thought it got the crowd going. I agreed with the decision. Overall, I thought this was solid start to the show. What did you think?
Yeah, solid start to the show. The Mysterios have been kind of weak champions, in my opinion. They haven't been featured as much. It's just, I don't know if they just didn't have anything for them, or they don't have much confidence in either one's mic skills, which is dumb. But it's fine. Now the Usos have the belts, and you can tie it in with the whole bloodline thing, and which is what, quote unquote, Roman Reigns has wanted the whole time.
Yeah, and it sets up to, maybe eventually you have all the belts. Now, maybe in a little bit, the group starts to implode. Maybe they both super kick Roman and turn on him. Who knows? The possibility.
Who knows? The potential end of the road there is one of the Usos with The Rock, with one of the Usos and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year. So if that's potential, only one of them is going to turn, I guess.
Which would make it even more interesting. I kind of like that idea more than both of them turning on him.
Like, one is just more loyal to The Rock. Like, hey, The Rock's the one that paved the way for you, buddy.
I like it.
And paved the way for all of us. Like, take a back seat.
I like it. So moving on to the next segment, you got the women's Money in the Bank, which I thought overall was a solid match. It wasn't the men's Money in the Bank. I thought was one of the greatest that they've ever done, arguably the greatest, but we'll get to that towards the end. The women's Money in the Bank match, solid, very good. Everybody got their stuff in. And Nikki, almost a superhero, Nikki ASH, wins the Money in the Bank.
I still think it should be 2 A's, but I'm going to bite my tongue because, whatever.
Yeah. But Nikki ASH wins the Money in the Bank in a very pleasant surprise, in my opinion. I'm glad she won.
Yeah. I hope that I really, 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 really hope they don't do the same thing that they did with Otis last year and then give it to somebody else. Like, please don't do that.
Right. See it.
That was bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like a ha-ha, we're playing into the joke. We did it for you fans. Okay, now we're going to give it to the real Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah, which the only person, if they do that, the only person that's acceptable at this point is Alexa. That's it.
That's it. What did you think of Alexa's, now that they're in front of a live crowd, all the magic stuff, like the mind control with her? And
I dig it all. She can do no wrong. She's fantastic.
Okay, I don't agree. I think in front of a live crowd, it's kind of dumb. Because in the Thunderdome, you can do all the lights going out and the special effects and all that stuff and the camera tricks. In front of a crowd, it's kind of dumb. I like her.
The Undertaker turned off the lights for decades.
That's The Undertaker. That is the only exception, okay? In my opinion.
Retribution turned off on and off the lights for months. Let her have this.
Don't you dare bring that up. Don't you dare bring that up.
They flickered the lights for months.
Not
what we got.
he knocks me off track. Okay, what was it? Alexa. Okay.
Right. You don't like it. Whatever.
I don't like it. I like her, like, the way she wrestles, like her new move set now that she's this new character. I like her wrestling ability. I think she should just stay in that lane, enough with the magic BS, because, it did its job. They're in front of a live crowd now. It's not really going to work anymore. That's just my opinion. But then again, I'm sure there was somebody just like me, that podcast didn't exist back then, but somebody just like me in a writer's room saying Undertaker shoots lightning out of his hands. That's stupid. But, what do I know? I could be wrong.
Yeah. 30 years from now, we could be like, holy crap, she's amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So next, this is overall a great show. I thought I'd give it like a B+, A-, which I'm usually not that nice on my grades to WWE pay-per-views, but this one was a very, very, very good pay-per-view.
Feels like the most solid Money in the Bank in a while.
Oh yeah, since the CM Punk one.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
But this was a negative part, I thought. Kofi against Bobby Lashley. Instead of getting squashed in 7 seconds like he did against Brock, he got squashed in 7 minutes.
Well, apparently this is all going to set up a Goldberg match, because
I know.
Lashley tweeted after this a photo of himself saying that he's like indestructible or unstoppable or whatever the hell he said. And then he just put, "Who's next?" And I was like, oh no, you don't get to say that. Now old man Bill has to come out and fucking spear you for the 13th time. And hopefully, I don't even know. I hope it doesn't take the belt off of him. But whatever. If he does, fine. I don't even care about Lashley being champion anymore. I don't want, because if you're not going to give me the Brock Lesnar match, I don't want it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. When Brock beat Goldberg at WrestleMania in 2017, that should have been it. I think Brock, because of their history, is a good guy to retire Goldberg.
That's
did not happen.
Fine.
Then Drew McIntyre beats him a few months ago. I thought that would have been a good guy to retire Goldberg.
Nah, I still think it's Matt Riddle, buddy.
That would be cool, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know. Goldberg going out with a bro hammer? I love it.
It would. I still kind of, for a while, I thought I wanted Riddle versus Brock. And I think I still do. I want Riddle versus Brock more than I want Riddle versus Goldberg. But the one I want more than anything is Keith Lee versus Brock.
If Keith Lee returns tonight on Raw, I think my brain's going to explode. Because if that's what they've been waiting for, is a live crowd, my head's going to explode. That's what's going to happen.
I wonder if maybe they bought the rights to his old entrance music, and that's what they're waiting for.
Fucking goosebumps just happened over here. Goosebumps. I know that it's 68 degrees in my house, but goosebumps.
Yeah, you keep it really cold in your house, by the way.
I pay the bill. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's your right to. Hey, I like your house. It's nice and chilly.
Yeah. Bring a jacket, buddy.
It is 90. It's 198 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 100 and Nick Lachey outside, and I don't want it.
All right. So Kofi gets squashed, unfortunately. Goldberg is coming back. It makes me very.
I don't know if Goldberg's coming back tonight or if that's just, because we have a big return later in the evening, and he is also part of tonight's festivities. So I don't know what they're going to do.
No, we'll see. So yeah, because with SummerSlam coming up, there is still one more big return, and so there's that. And
I think there's two. If Goldberg's there, I still think we're going to get Becky Lynch on the show.
Oh, true. That's true. Good point.
As much as she teased all of us, I didn't get anything.
Yeah, perfect. Because that leads me to my next point. You had the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match, which started off with the crowd not on their side at all, chanting for Becky.
Oh, they were sluggish at first, chanting that we want Becky. I honestly thought that they were going to lose. I thought the crowd was just going to take over the show from that. Like, if Becky doesn't show up, we riot type of situation. And no, they had a solid match, and they showed the WWE universe, hey, we know how to wrestle and we know how to put on a damn good match. Watch.
Mm-hmm. And well, yeah, of course. If you just leave it in their hands, they're going to do great character work. They're going to, tell a great story with the match.
They're both great professional wrestlers. Let them do what they do.
But it's sports entertainment. Remember, we have a right.
I wouldn't have trusted Dana Brooke with this job, but I trust those two with my eyes closed.
Yeah, but no, you got to go with what the writing team says, even though they half know nothing about wrestling. But I think what hurt them is the fact that they made both seem really unlikable. You couldn't root for either one going into this match.
That's because you don't know which one is a heel, which one's a face. They both did the same thing. They both faked an injury. They both the buildup was dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that away. And they still pulled off a hell of a match and got reactions that were not merited based on this buildup.
Yeah. True. Which is crazy because the buildup in 2020, just before the lockdown started, was amazing. I was looking forward to that match more than any other match in WrestleMania in 2020. Before COVID, before we knew it was going to be an empty arena thing.
Yeah, well, I was like, that was pre-Boneyard match and Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah. No, the pop I was looking forward to the most in Raymond James Stadium, which I think is what they still call it when the Buccaneers play.
Yeah, it is.
The pop I was looking forward to the most is when Rhea Ripley's music hit back in 2020, when she was when she was white hot with all that momentum at the time. Unfortunately, we didn't get it.
Oh, we didn't get it, and she didn't win either. That was bonkers also. But
yeah, the Raw writing team kind of took the you could tell they took the wheel on that one. But it worked out eventually. Rhea got her title reign, as short as it was. She got a title reign. She got her win at WrestleMania, and now this sets up Charlotte versus Becky. But I think it's going to set up. They're going to do a WWE, and they're going to make it a triple threat.
Yep.
Because the SmackDown title picture will probably be a one-on-one thing. So if you do one-on-one show, the other one has to be triple threat. It's kind of their default.
That is their default. But who's going to step up on the other side?
I don't know yet. I think.
Do you think my prediction comes true? That
Asuka trade?
Asuka gets traded and goes after Bianca? Because ain't no really anybody credible right now on the SmackDown roster.
With Bayley injured? Yeah.
Bayley's injured. Apparently, I read this like an hour ago. Apparently, they've moved Naomi over to SmackDown to be with everybody else. So I don't know if she's going to join the Bloodline or what's going to happen. If that's the case, she should go after the title.
Yeah.
Because if she joins the Bloodline, that's just to have all the belts, all of them.
All for that. I'm all for that.
I'm pretty sure there's another Anoa'i family member out there that's wrestling, and he should go after the Intercontinental Champion on that show. They should all have the belts.
Yeah, screw it. If it's somebody in Evolve or whatever, grab them and throw them on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't care where they are. They could be in MLW. They could be in AAA. They could
wherever. Sign them now.
They could be on reruns of Lucha Underground. I don't know where he is, but I know that there is one, and I don't know where he is, but I know that he belongs.
Yeah. I've been meaning to watch Lucha Underground. Is it still on Netflix?
I think so. I watched the first season. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I saw like one episode years ago. I liked it too. I like the whole cinematic feel to it. It's nice.
Cinematic feel. I didn't know that I was watching Ricochet at the time. Prince Puma was there. And I was like, holy hell, this guy's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't realize they were the same person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he had hair. That's probably why you didn't recognize him at first.
Oh, was it? I learned this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago when they fought, when Morrison and him fought. And they were like, oh, it's Johnny Mundo versus Prince Puma. And I was like, what?
So those two make magic in the ring. I need to see more of that.
Yeah.
Do not put them in a tag team. Put them in a rivalry for some kind of belt, you know?
I wouldn't hate that if they made Johnny Drip Drip more serious.
Yeah, agreed.
I wouldn't hate the tag team either. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. It would feel forced. I'd rather them go against each other. That's just me.
If it means belts from a man Ricochet, I'm all for it.
Sure. That's fair. All right. So men's Money in the Bank. I still maintain that this is one of the top 3 or 4 Money in the Bank matches that they've ever done.
All right.
In my opinion, the most iconic one is the first one, where Edge, before they even put any decorations on that briefcase, it was just a regular briefcase, probably from Vince's office, and it's, you know, you saw Edge holding it, and that was what catapulted Edge from being a forever mid-card guy to a superstar. So I'll forever remember that one.
And I was reading some interview that he did recently that he had to be convinced to be put into that match. Like Vince had to sell him on being in that match because Edge didn't want to be like the ladder match guy.
Little did he know it would change his career forever.
Yeah. And he was like, as stupid as it sounds, Vince McMahon had to sell me on being in this match.
That's awesome. Well, Vince knows how to close.
Apparently, yeah.
So I love that one.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer over there. He closed this.
So there's that one. There's the one where CM Punk won the Money in the Bank for the first time. That was an amazing one. I want to say that was the one where Shelton Benjamin did a flip and landed on the ladder that was held up. I'm pretty sure that was the same one. This one is, I think, just behind those two.
And nobody likes this one, but I kind of like it. The one that Brock Lesnar just showed up, I like that one.
I kind of like. I mean, I
half hope that it was going to happen again,
so we could just laugh at it. Dude, I didn't like it, but I loved that it was obviously Brock just trolling everybody. Vince and Brock together. It's like, I know they're gonna hate this. Run out there and take it.
I know they're gonna hate. And then the joy that he got from trolling everybody, holding that thing, dancing with it, turning it into a boombox. Brock Lesnar is a comedian, and nobody knew it.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure, that guy's an amazing performer. I'm just, like most people, I was sick of him being injected into the main event. It was like, oh, Royal Rumble time. When's Brock showing up? That kind of thing,
Yeah, we've kind of had that. We've had that feel for a few months now, and we're like, when's it going to happen? And we keep getting the nope.
Do you think they have a plan? Like they have a plan for Brock? Like they've already come to an agreement he's going to show up at some point? Or do you think they're still trying to work something out to bring him in, like to try to convince him?
Oh, I think they're still trying to convince him. At the end of the day, he's a businessman, and he's looking at the product. It's not what it used to be. They have less viewers every week. Why is he going to come back?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And to work in front of less people, to at least in my opinion, what has been, hopefully this live audiences gives them the shot in the arm that they need, because it was a dwindling product.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying since the lockdown started, right, and this is across the board in sports too. Like people were saying, oh, NBA Finals last year and this year, the lowest ratings ever. People want to say it's the whole woke thing. Maybe that played a factor. I think it's because there's no freaking fans in the arena. That makes a difference, man. Like, who wants to watch guys playing basketball to no crowd noise? Like, for the casual fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, do you watch arena football? Nope.
It's not the same. Like wrestling, I mean, we watch wrestling because we're loyal fans and we wanted to watch the product, and we have this podcast. But for the casual, channel flipper, or that wants to catch, see what's going on in wrestling in front of an empty warehouse, yeah, they're gonna change the channel.
Yeah, because they're not feeling what we feel at home. we're fans. We already bought the product.
We're already invested. Yeah.
Yeah, we already bought it. We've watched this soap opera for 20 years, and we're gonna keep watching it.
Yeah. Even we're gonna, like I did. I know you didn't. I know you jumped off in the final year of WCW, but I watched WCW till the bitter end. I never missed an episode.
No, I watched it, man. I watched that episode, the Shane McMahon. I was genuinely surprised.
Oh no, me too. It was wonderful. But
Shane McMahon showing up saying that he bought WCW, and I was like, as a child, I was like, oh my God, the son is gonna compete with the dad. Holy crap.
And if you remember, it was the Monday before WrestleMania X7, the biggest WrestleMania ever.
Yes.
It was at the peak of the Attitude Era.
And I remember that it was, if I'm not mistaken, they were at Daytona Beach.
For the spring breakout show that they would do every year, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the wrestlers found out, I mean, we could do a whole show on this. We'll try not to, but most of the wrestlers found out when they arrived, like, hey, this is the last show.
Yeah, did them dirty, but whatever. I mean, it was, that was great. I watched it all the way to the end.
It had that peak at the very end, but I'm talking like 2000 WrestleMania, because that was March of 01. WCW in 2000.
What I don't remember a lot of, which I may just me missing it, was like the ECW, WCW invasion stuff like that. That's fuzzy in my head.
When they really WWE.
Yeah, like that stuff is fuzzy in my head. But all of the WCW, even though it was atrocious, I watched it because I was a child. So
Vampiro was pretty cool. He was like the one star that wasn't like, Scott Steiner or DDP or one of those guys, like a young star. He was the one guy that they had at the time. That was it.
Yeah, they had to compete with Gangrel.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, back to the main point. Money in the Bank. I don't know how we went off on that tangent, but long story short, Big E wins. We're both, I'm very happy. I don't know about you.
I'm happy as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they just showed him react. That was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they saw something when they did that with Bianca, and I think that they will continue doing so because it's just money. Seeing them genuinely react to the moment, and not like within seconds have somebody in the ring be like, "How do you feel?" And just let them experience that moment.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I loved seeing Bianca and Sasha break character. They won an ESPY for that moment a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, they won for it just said greatest WWE moment or match moment.
I think it was moment, but that moment showing them getting all emotional and breaking character is ultimately what we want to see. And Big E broke character there.
We want to see the people shine through. He doesn't break character. That to me was part of his character. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he always has.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So
I saw a tweet today. The fucking somebody was chopping onions near me, and I was like, God damn it! It was a photo of him winning the thing, and it just said Brody would be proud, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who's chopping onions?
Moving on.
Chopping onions at my desk.
Yes. So Big E wins. Congratulations to him. Very happy about that. So in the Universal title match, you have Roman Reigns versus Edge. Solid match overall. Edge did some really good stuff, I thought. Seth interferes. Roman wins. We all kind of expected something like that to happen. But then at the very end, right before we think the show's about to go off the air, Cena's music hits.
John Cena sucks. Sorry, I can't not do it.
Oh, but that was probably the biggest pop ever for Cena that he's ever heard in his career.
I believe it. From everybody on Twitter was like, that's the loudest pop for Cena. Potentially since his that like surprise return that he had at the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. But
that was a huge one. This one may have topped it. I'm not 100% sure. I'll watch it back because I've watched the other one a gajillion times, so I have to watch this one.
This one topped it as far as crowd noise because you add the fact that people were gone for a year and a half. I mean, that just, I think, doubled the crowd noise for every pop. And then, yeah, that one, and then when Edge came out on SmackDown on Friday, that might have been even louder.
He did get a great pop.
That was, dude, that was deafening. That was an explosion.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was insane.
He deserves it.
100%. The guy's a legend. So yeah, Cena's back. Crowd's back.
Not just for one night, according to him. He'll be on Raw tonight to address what his intentions are, even though it was fairly clear that he interrupted the tribal chief and his celebration. So
I think he's
going to have to answer for that on Friday.
I think it's obvious what he's planning on doing.
Yeah, it's odd that they're going to do it on Raw versus SmackDown, but I guess, I mean, if he's back for a full-time schedule, get him on all the dates. He's going to bring butts to the seats.
It's because they're doing it in the same city, probably. So I'm not sure where they're doing Raw tonight, but we'll see.
I think it's Houston.
So yeah, they've been in Texas since Friday. I think they were in Fort Worth.
They were in Fort Worth, I think, for Friday. I don't know where last night's was.
Houston, maybe?
Then maybe tonight is San Antonio. I know that it was 3 different cities, I think.
All right, so we'll see, man. Oh, real quick, I'll let you tell the folks if they haven't been caught up what happened with the Hardys.
Apparently earlier in today's Monday, the 19th, Matt Hardy said something that basically said Kenny Omega is better than Roman Reigns, and the internet blew up. Everybody hates everybody now. And the internet exploded. At least the internet wrestling community did, and apparently some of the wrestlers got into it. Gave Jeff Hardy some grief over it at Raw, or at the venue earlier today, and Jeff Hardy was sent home due to an altercation. I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure he punched somebody.
Jeff Hardy to AEW confirmed. All right. So that was our recap for Money in the Bank 2021. And yeah, we'll be back later this week to recap what happened during the week with Dynamite, with maybe SmackDown, depending on when we record. So
yeah, if we record on Saturday, we can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, man. So this is Roll for the Win. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Oh, like and subscribe. Hit all those buttons down there.
Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff.
All that algorithm
Hit
stuff.
The bell for notifications. Do all of it.
All the buttons. All right. See ya.
See ya.